Lawyers in New York are challenging lewdness arrests that are taking place in the subways. Now, this is insane, and if the accusations against the officials are true, it makes me so unbelievably angry. But Port Authority police officials in New York City have been arresting men in the bathroom for masturbation and lewd acts. So what's really going on here, okay? According to reports, Port Authority police officers have arrested more than 60 people this year in the bus terminal on public lewdness charges, a 7-fold increase over the same period last year. Most of these arrested were accused of masturbating in the second-floor bathroom. According to court records, they were observed by plainclothes officers who were often standing next to them at an adjacent urinal. So let me just quickly explain to you how
because this is very curious. Why is there an explosion of masturbation in the Port Authority?
This is ridiculous, and I actually believe...
Hey, you guys want to go to the Port Authority, beat off? Oh, yeah, come on, everybody's doing it.
This is my speculation, so let me be absolutely clear about that. But I believe the people who are accused in this story, the people who feel that they did absolutely nothing wrong and then they got arrested for no reason. Okay, so the way that the urinals are set up there, for those of you who haven't been to the New York City urinals.
At the Port Authority, which I suspect there's a lot of you.
They're not just, you know, one urinal next to each other with absolutely no privacy. They actually have like little tiny walls, so there's a little bit of privacy for you, right? So what happens is these plainclothes police officers will like look to see if the person is masturbating, and then they will arrest them for lewd acts, right? But the thing is, in some of these cases, it doesn't seem like these guys were masturbating at all. It seems like they were urinating, and usually when guys urinate, they take it out and they hold it, right? Got to get that good aim. And apparently,
I hope you're holding it. I don't want you flying all over the place.
Apparently, that's enough to arrest these people. So let me give you a sense of what's going on. Mr. Holden, a 28-year-old broker, said he noticed that a bald man at the urinal next to him, who he later learned was a plainclothes police officer, was looking at him. A privacy divider, as well as a duffel bag, slung over Mr. Holden's shoulder, and it separated them, right? While I'm using the bathroom, he stepped back and kind of looks at me and then walks off. I said, nothing. I was using the bathroom. They pulled me aside, asked for my ID, and put handcuffs on me. Okay? That's not the only person who had a similar story like that. Dudes are just using the bathroom according to their account, okay? This is what they're saying.
I believe them.
I believe them too, because...
Because there's not an epidemic of people masturbating at the Port Authority.
In 1 year?
Okay, a 7-fold increase, like somehow like it went viral. Everybody's like, oh, all the cool kids are doing it. You go to Port Authority and beat off at the urinals. It just makes no sense. If people were using it as a meeting place, like, you know, the Republican senator was using the Minnesota public bathroom, and they would touch feet underneath the stalls, and then they would know that there was going to be some action, and they'd get into a stall together. Okay, that I believe. I mean, that's happened many, many times throughout America, right? Where unfortunately a lot of gay men who are not out, as the Republican senator was not out, meet in illicit places to avoid scrutiny, right? But public masturbation at urinals, I've never heard of that being a real issue, let alone all of a sudden this enormous growth in it, right? No way.
It just makes me really angry because it immediately accuses someone of guilt, especially men. Like, you're not going to see something like this in a women's bathroom, right? Like, it automatically assumes that guys have this problem with public masturbation, so you have to send plainclothes officers to investigate it. It's already treating all men as if they're guilty of doing this and they need to be, you know, arrested for it.
Imagine you're that guy and you're wrongly accused, okay? That's going to go on your record, man. I mean, everybody you know is, Bob got busted beaten off in the bathroom, public bathroom. And then not only that, if you get convicted, you could be on a sex offender list. That ruins your life.
What are the cops doing in New York right now?
Oh, come on, man. This is insanity. Look, by the way, I use the New York Port Authority all the time because I take a bus from New York to my parents' house in New Jersey, whether it was East Brunswick back in the day or Freehold now, right? And so if they did this to me, oh my God. And so somebody's going to react like I would one day. They're going to flip out because it's the most outrageous thing you've ever heard, right? And then resisting arrest, and then the tasers, and then God knows what else happens. And then you got real charges against you. Because, I mean, somebody's going to hit a cop. If a cop says you're jerking off and you're not, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? And he says you're under arrest, you're going to get really, really mad.
Absolutely. I mean, there are a number of stories like the one I just read to you guys, profiled in this New York Times piece, right? There was one guy who said that after he finished using the bathroom, he was just shaking it, right? Like just to dry it off or something.
That's kind of what happens.
Yeah, and a cop, as he was doing that, the cop accused him of masturbating. Why are there plainclothes police officers looking at penises in bathrooms?
No,
how wrong is this?
So other than being weirdly pervy and an awful use of our tax dollars, if you live in New York, it must be because there was some sort of quota or something. They had to arrest a certain number of people. So they're like, I don't know, what are we going to come up with? And some idiot came up with this idea. And they're like, oh, that's easy. They have no way of denying it. Their penis is out in public. Ha-ha, we got them, right? So let's just round up a bunch of guys and fill our quota. Look, and you said broker, but the graphic said baker, right?
I'm sorry, baker. He is a baker. Sorry.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to arrest a broker. If they arrest a broker, they're going to be in a lot of trouble, okay? Guaranteed the guys that they targeted were not wearing suits. So there's no way anybody's going to be able to prove that, but I would bet so much money that out of all of the people that they arrested, none of them were wearing suits. Because the cop's going to think this is a bullshit scam we're running. I ran into a guy with any kind of power, and I'm going to get fucked. So I'm going to pick on the baker, the candlestick maker, and I'm going to pick on all the guys that have no power, and I'm going to fuck their lives.
Yeah, there was one other person, a 38-year-old Mexican immigrant who works in a supermarket.
Of course.
Who was also accused of masturbating at the restroom.
Because what do? First thing you do is you pick on the powerless. Gross.